talking to up-and-coming artists who are making it happen right now, and I'm just learning all about you.
Yeah.
We have Miles Minnick joining us today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so where are you from, Miles?
I'm from the Bay Area.
Okay.
Let me be precise. I'm from California, West Coast, Northern California, Bay Area, Pittsburgh, California, West Pittsburgh. Some will call it Bay Point, the point of the bay, but I'm from the West. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So our very own Katrina B, the producer, wanted to test and make sure that you really are where you say you're from. That was a
let's get
setup
it.
question.
Let's get it.
The shirt that Katrina's wearing, what makes this so special? Go ahead, Miles.
It makes it so special because it is one of the key parts of our community in West Pittsburgh. It is also where I graduated elementary school, where I graduated middle school.
Whoa.
Yeah, and Shore Acres, they call it Shady Acres. Is one way in, one way out. You got Joe's Hot Dogs. You got Shore Road.
Is this true,
This is
Katrina?
all very accurate. Very, very accurate.
So Miles couldn't just randomly be getting this right, and at this moment on the spot, like he would have to truly
you
know
have
it.
to truly be from West Pittsburgh, California. To even you could not even Pittsburgh. I think you have to be from literally West Pittsburgh.
Literally.
To know this.
And it's like a very small community. And the fact that like you come from the exact
same
place
Yes.
that I grew up is just wild to me. Like we just bought a house there. Like we're planted. Even though I don't live there, we still have like a piece there, like forever.
How
That's great.
interesting. Okay, wait. So now, Miles, you are on this journey. So now that we know you come from Northern California, the Bay Area, you create music. Tell us about the genre of music, because for a lot of us, we are being enlightened in this conversation. So how would you describe your genre of music?
Yeah. I would describe it as Christian hip hop, Christian rap. A lot of music that's inspired by our faith, our walk with God. A lot of people hear my music and initially they don't know it's Christian, but when they're by themselves in their car, when they're listening on their iPhone, in bed, they're like, wait a minute, he's talking about God.
Yes. Yeah.
Because in all actuality, when you listen to it, it may sound like a song you may hear on a radio.
Right.
But I like to call it slaps with substance. With substance. Yeah.
Initially when I first heard some of your songs, I thought they were for the strip club. I was like, and then Katrina's like, no, get your mind out of there. This is actually, talking about God and, that connection. And I did not know that. So I thought we could play it at the strip club. I was wrong.
Well, it's funny. I have a song called Squabble, and in the hook, I said, same bounce, but the stance looking different. Meaning the music has the same bounce. You can still dance to it, but we stand on something different.
Yeah. Do you think strip clubs would ever play your songs?
You know what's incredibly funny? They play one of my friend's songs. My friend Emmanuel the Prophet, he got a song called Big God. So they was in the strip club like, Big God, Big God, Big God. They was going crazy. Stop it. They was going crazy. I can't make it up.
And he does, and his music, the genre, he would fall into Christian hip hop.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, ghetto gospel. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And they were,
Where was? I think it was Atlanta. I think it was Magic City. Don't quote me. I think it was Atlanta. Yeah. That's crazy.
Needed that. It's too good. Okay. I wasn't expecting that.
You know what's funny as well? They also play my music in NBA games, NFL games, which is really funny because it's like I don't have to change my message in order to reach a wide audience. I think a lot of people think, oh no, you can only reach church people, but for some reason, mainstream is starting to pick it up.
What would you say is the biggest misconception about the music you create?
I think the biggest misconception about the music that we make is it's only for Christians. It's only for church people. In all actuality, like if you're a believer in Christ, praise God. Like yes, the music can be for you, but in when we look at it, a large part of my audience is people who don't even have a church home. If you look at my crowd at these shows, I say about 40% of them don't even know how to pray yet. Like they're starting their walk, or they're just fans of the music and it inspires them, And I think another misconception is that we're not as good as people in the mainstream market, which I think that's being debunked now,
right?
In 2024.
For sure. Especially, I think you're doing a really good job with it. You are right now on your Christ-like tour. How's that going?
Oh, incredible.
You're selling out places. I mean, it is happening for you right now, and I think that's amazing.
Oh, sis, it's really incredible. It's my first headline tour, and going on tour as an artist, it can be scary. Like, will
Absolutely.
they come? Will they show up? What market should I do? We've done Vancouver, Canada, Portland, Seattle,
It's crazy.
Los Angeles. We were able to pack out one of the premier venues in downtown LA,
That's crazy.
the Novo, on May 31st. It was a dream come true.
So how did you find out it got sold out? Did anyone tell you ahead of time, or did you find out?
So listen, honest to God, we sold maybe 50% of our tickets within that final week. And so nobody told me like we sold out. But when I went out and seen the crowd, because I have this thing in my head where it's like, I don't want to look at the numbers of the tickets. I don't want to see it. I don't want it to stress me out. I want it to be about the souls and not necessarily the numbers.
Right.
But when I walked out and I seen that theater, there was not a seat available.
That's amazing.
I'm like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And people are eating up the content too. It's nuts.
This is okay. Wait. So when you were in the Bay, that's where you're from. Did this begin then? You creating music, and did you always start out as an artist creating Christian-based hip hop?
Not at all. Yeah, in high school, I was with the gangster rap crews. I was talking about, the usual topics, drugs, sex, murder, gang violence, all that kind of stuff, because that's what I grew up around. My family was in that. My community was in that, and I was a rapper, rap battling at lunch. I was performing at proms. I was doing multicultural rallies with that kind of music. But it wasn't until I was 17 years old, and there was a talent show at my high school, and the judges for this talent show were all Christian artists. And I said, if I'm going to win this talent show, let me do a Christian rap song.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that was my first Christian rap song, because at that time, I was like starting to go to church. I was like wrestling with my faith. But then when I did that song for that talent show, I won the whole thing with a Christian rap song. Like, the school went nuts. They was going crazy to that thing.
Right.
And I took that as a sign from God to like lean in more. And to
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to really have faith to do that.
Oh,
to
for
just
sure.
fully say, all right, this is the sign. I got it. I'm going to follow it.
For sure. Yeah, and it's tough, because like I was the only one in my city community, one of the only ones in the Bay Area, period,
Right.
to go that route. But, I always say if you lean into God, God will lean into you. He's been blessing it.
So you're on tour, you're selling out all these different venues. How did people first discover your music? Like, how are they finding out about what you're doing?
That's a really good question. So I would say in 2018, I did this award ceremony in Pittsburgh. It's called the 9 Quota Awards. Now, Pittsburgh, California, for those who are wondering.
Right, who are tuning in right now, for
and
sure.
this was not a Christian event. You got folks smoking, girls twerking.
Right.
It was an award show for all the secular artists, the mainstream artists of the area. And I was the only Christian rapper there. And so when I'm doing my set performing, out of nowhere, the sound gets cut off in the show. Well, the music is cut off. I'm like, yo, instead of me panicking and like looking at the sound man, like, what are you doing? I started to freestyle a hook. Devil wanna run up on me, it's bad. I freestyled the hook. The theater went insane again. Somebody recorded it on Facebook and went viral. And that gave me a Christian rap career.
Wow.
Yeah, that like popped me off, like in Cali. And that's what like really began to come up for sure.
Okay, so obviously you work with the same team that works with Corday, who we love. We love Corday.
Yeah, shout out Corday and Ace, yep.
And his business partner is Ace, who also works with you. So how did you guys all connect? How did this even happen?
Yo, like you would never guess. Yo, so okay, I never told this story publicly before. So we were living in West Pittsburgh, right? We just bought a house there last year, right? My wife and I were settled in, but while we're settling into the house, we're like, we feel like we should relocate to LA. Like, even though we bought a property, we feel like we should be in LA. Like,
Why?
Okay. We have community there, opportunity there. I was flying out every weekend to LA. And so the logic was, if we lived there, I could be home more. Right?
Makes sense.
And so we're packing up and we're moving, and we felt like God was really calling us to it. But it was also like, is God really calling us to it? Or are we just like putting words in God's mouth?
Right.
A lot of folks be like, God told me, but did he really say? And so
Right.
literally, with an empty house, I'm low-key like moving to tears, like God, like if you really want us to move, I need you to speak to me and make it make sense. Because right now, it don't make sense. To be transparent with you, our mortgage in the Bay was $1,600.
Oof.
Our rent in LA is $4,000.
Ooh.
So I'm like,
wow,
God,
we need to reconsider this.
you have to
Think
make
this
it make
through.
sense.
Yeah.
But literally, listen, honest to God, literally on the way to LA with a packed van full of stuff. I get a FaceTime from my producer. He's like, yo, remember that industry connect I've been telling you about for years? I'm like, yeah. He wants to FaceTime you. I'm like, FaceTime me? I get a call from Ace on the way to LA. He's like, yo, I discovered you. I discovered your music. I didn't know you work with Dars. I'm actually dating his first cousin. We have a child together.
This is wild.
Like, yo, like, when can you come to LA? I'm on the way to LA right now. I'm literally relocating right now. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. Last night, I just prayed that I could find an artist like you to work with, and you're moving to LA right now. When can we meet? You can ask him right now. You can ask him. This happened in November, and the first week we moved, we sold out a show in downtown, and it's like, okay, we supposed to be here in LA.
That's creepy and amazing at the same time. Do you get goosebumps when things like this happen? Because that's got to be very insane.
Every time. But the funny thing is, it's like a reoccurring thing. Like, God keeps showing up like that in my life, and I don't want to say I'm used to it. It just pop off like that.
And you take it.
Oh yeah, I take it.
Oh, for sure.
And it's confirmation that he hears me, you know?
Do people judge you because of the type of music you make? As far as within the music industry, where you feel like, okay, maybe they're looking at me a little different, or you could tell they're maybe censoring themselves because they do want to be respectful to you, right? I could see that. Like, I think me and Katrina, we would be mindful. We might not play certain things because we don't, we want to be respectful of your space.
Yeah.
Now, in that, do you feel like people have judged you because you are making Christian hip hop?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So I do get the respect piece where people
For sure.
censor themselves or all of that, even though I don't ask for that. I appreciate it, that they honor us that way. But I would say most of the judgment doesn't come from people who don't believe what I believe. It comes from other Christians. Let me tell you something. In a lot of our events, we have protesters outside saying that our music is leading people to hell, that our music is leading other people astray. And so when I get criticism, it doesn't really come from people who don't go to church. It comes from the people that be in church thinking that we're doing this with an ulterior motive. But in all actuality, we could, okay, this is, a lot of people think when you go to church or when you praise God, you got to wear a suit and tie and speak with the these and the thous and the whatever they say in King James Version. But in all actuality, you could be yourself and go to church. You could be yourself and be a Christian. That's why my album is called Christ-Like California, because I'm Christ-like within the culture of California, within that same slang, the same dress code, the same type of energy. You know what I mean?
If you're not paying close attention to the lyrics, you would not know that you're talking about God. I literally took a minute. Katrina's like, no, are you listening? Because I was like, hey, it's a vibe. You know what it feels like? It feels like hyphy Christian music.
Come on.
Together. And, I think it's great. I was like listening to it, and I wonder if you have to explain yourself over and over because, it's not mainstream hip hop. And do you feel like exhausted that you have to constantly explain and just say, hey, like, here I am. I'm an artist and my music is rooted in my faith?
I get exhausted when I have to, explain it to fellow Christians. But to be honest with you, when people who are not of our faith hear my music, I don't really get judged like that. They really embrace it. A lot of the comments that we hear is like, where has this been? This is a breath of fresh air. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
Even in LA, like the guys who mixed and mastered my album, the guys who added instrumentation and all the kind of stuff to our project, they're artists in the industry. Like, yo, like I've never heard anything like this. We love it. We need more of it.
Right.
Getting behind it. And so
it's because you can really rap. Like you could actually put songs together. So I think it's like, I don't know. And look, I could probably be part of the problem, like Katrina. Maybe there's this assumption that, not that you can't rap, but it's like, oh, even the beat, the music, the melody, everything is just like, it's a vibe. But you got to pay attention to the lyrics a little bit more. But I think it's a beautiful balance.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people feel conflicted. It's either this or that, or maybe it's a this and that. Maybe we can enjoy the vibe and also have substance, like you said.
Yeah.
You could have the best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest artists have the strongest substance in their music. Kendrick talks about God a lot. He almost, rebuked Drake for not, instilling God into his family. And artists like Lupe Fiasco and Big Crit, shout out to Lecrae. Like, there's a way
course.
that you can, add your values into your music and still make an impact. For sure.
Who did you grow up listening to?
Good question. So you know where we're from, right? Where we are from made a huge influence and impact on my life. So I would say E40.
Of course, right.
E40.
Yeah.
Tell me you wanna go.
Right.
Tell me you wanna
That
go.
was a run. Miles, that was a run. Absolutely.
I was a kid with the dreads, with the goatee, with the RP Mac Dre hoodies, all of that. Like, that was me. So E40, Too Short, blow the whistle. But really,
Icons, absolutely.
HBK gang.
Of course.
I am
Sue.
Pilo.
Come on.
Pilo. I am Sue to this day is my favorite rapper. In the history of
I
rap.
love this.
I feel like he made the most impact on me, and my style is a lot like his, and my sound is a lot like Pilo's. So yeah, it's real. I'm a real hyphy baby for sure.
Absolutely. It's definitely, that's why I said hyphy Christian. And unless you know, you wouldn't know. Like, but I get it. This is so amazing. I'm so happy for you right now.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so you had posted a video of yourself, and in it you had talked about you moving to LA with your wife, 4 kids. 4 kids? My heart's with you. Katrina and I have 1, and we're exhausted.
Oh yeah.
Like we're holding on by a thread. It is how. Okay, so all this in faith, addressing the Bay mortgage versus living in LA, which is substantially more expensive, but packing up your van and going and trusting your gut. What was that voice? What was it? Like, was it your wife? Was it the kids? There had to be something that really pushed you over to pack it up and move 6 hours away, driving from your home, from your own community.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta follow the favor. You gotta follow, where it's happening for you. There was one weekend we went to LA, and it's like everything was clicking. Everything was clicking. We went to a WNBA Sparks game at the Staples Center. I'm sorry, Crypto.com Arena.
Oh gosh, right.
And while we're there, all of a sudden we hear my music playing in the game. I was like, yo, what is this? And then I see my friend DJ Mowski is the DJ. I'm like, yo, what the heck?
That's weird.
He calls me to the front. He puts me on the court. We throwing T-shirts and stuff. I'm like, yo, what the heck is going on? And then little stuff like that would be happening over and over while we're down there. And I've been wanting to move for the past 5 years, but it was really my wife. Like, she needed to see it for herself.
Yeah.
And so she started seeing it, and she's like, yo, I think this is where you and we need to be in order for our purpose.
Yo, with 4 kids?
Well, 4 of them. 4 of them.
How old are they?
Okay.
I need to know, because this is inspiration. I just want you to know this. As like parents, like, wow, tell us.
Oh yeah, we're really big on not allowing our circumstances to dictate our destiny, or hinder us. I believe that our whole family is called to do what we're doing. We're all a part of it. So 4 kids. We have a 1-year-old. Her name is Riley.
Oh.
We have a 3-year-old, Jaden. That's my little boy. He got Black Air Force energy. Like, he be ready to beat up anybody. No, for real.
I love this.
I'm gonna buy him a closet full of Black Air Forces. And then my big boy, Nemo. His real name is Nehemiah. We call him Nemo. He's 7 years old, getting ready to turn 8 in September. And today was his last day of school.
Oh.
Yeah, for the season, for the year, we put him in a dual immersion program where he's learning Spanish.
Amazing.
In Long Beach. Oh yeah,
Amazing.
big blessed. And then my oldest, she is 15 years old. We had her when I was still in high school. And so yeah, she just finished 9th grade today as well. So
Wait, so what does she think about you, music, career, and all this? And do her friends like realize, wait, your dad is in the music industry?
All her friends follow me on Instagram and all of that. So like they know. And she be like, yeah, my dad is famous. Like she's like one of them, like she loves going to our concerts, and she's like running the merchandise and setting up for the other artists and all of that, wearing the merch, and like she's taking ownership of it. And it's really a dream come true to see that.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. What would you say is your best piece of advice for parents? Obviously, Katrina and I are new to parenthood. Best piece of advice you would share with us?
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I would say don't let your career get in the way of your children, but find ways to involve your children, within your career as much as you can. That way, it's like they don't feel like mommy and daddy is choosing that over them, but it's like we get to be a part of it together. So they be at my rehearsals. They come to the studio sometimes. I ask my kids, like, what do you think about this song?
Yeah.
So it's our thing, and it's not daddy's thing. When he does that, he's away from us. But it's like, no, this is for the family.
It's the family.
Yeah.
What do you want people to take away from your music?
I want people to take away from my music that there is a real God who cares about you, who has a plan and a purpose for you. So even if you feel hopeless, there is hope available. And you may feel like it's done for you, but if you're still breathing, there's still an active plan for your life that you could tap into if you tap into him, for sure.
Where can people follow what you're doing? Because, like, obviously the music's one thing, but, I mean, you just have great wisdom to share.
Yeah. You can follow me everywhere.
Yeah.
Instagram at miles.minnick. That is MILESMINNICK. Subscribe to the YouTube. Like your boy on Facebook if y'all still doing all of that. But yeah, we're really trying to, make a difference, make an impact, and try to, bring a light to the industry for sure.
How do you like New York while you're here?
Listen, I love New York.
It's the greatest place. I'm going to be honest with you.
Look, I'm from Cali, and so, East Coast, West Coast beef or whatever, to me, that don't exist.
Right. It's a different generation, for sure. You're like, what? Yeah.
No, like, for me, whenever I'm here, I don't want to leave.
Absolutely.
It's
And
really...
you said your wife wanted to move here, right?
Yes, she does. She does. Well, she knows we belong in LA right now, but when she's here, she's like, yo, like, where do we sign up?
Yeah.
Like, where do we have to stay to remain here? But the pizza is fire here. I had some of the best Chinese food here.
Really?
In New York.
Okay, there's some good spots. I'm not knocking it, but versus the Bay?
Okay, yes, Chinatown in SF is fire.
It's different.
It's fire.
It's
but
levels.
I had something in Brooklyn a few months ago. I'm like, no, this is different.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah.
But don't forget about us when you're out on all these tours, selling out everywhere. I'm glad you had time to come in today before you head back west. And, anytime you're in town, come through.
Oh, yeah, we coming back for SOBs.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's going to be fire. I'll make sure to tap in with you guys when we come back and just turn up, have a good time.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for stopping by today. I know you make Katrina's day. Look at her smiling. It's a Bay thing. There's a connect. But the music you're making is great. And I love that there's substance to it. It is so amazing. And I'm happy for you. I'm happy for your family. And I'm happy to see that you're all a part of this journey together as a family. What a blessing.
What a blessing.
What a blessing.
And what a blessing to be here. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Thank
and
you for
Miles,
having
can
me.
you, when you leave, make sure you say a couple prayers for me. Like maybe Katrina can win the lottery at some point because she's been trying to win the lottery. Just pray, just a little something. Just pray, like, hey, just, Katrina, when was the last time you bought lottery tickets? 2 weeks ago?
Last week, because it was like 300 million, and I'm in a pool with my friends from Pittsburgh.
Oh, what?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'll throw one
We're
up
trying
for
to
you.
win.
I got you.
Yo, mortgage prices are bad in the Bay, so I need it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I got you. Shoot, we can say it right now.
Right? Please. If you won the lottery right now, what's the first thing you would do?
Ooh, first thing I would do. Ooh, I would buy a Christ-like compound.
Wow.
Yeah. I would buy a mansion where my family, including my father, my brother, and my team, can live there and just build a empire.
Amazing.
Yes, that's the first thing.
Well, Miles, you have been such a pleasure. And, I can see why everything's going on the up and up for you. So anytime you're in town, stop by. And we got to thank Ace for making this happen. And I'm glad we can make this work.
Oh, yeah. Until next time.
Until next time.